are you going to tell the Chinese next week?
Well, I'm talking at an investment conference, so I'm going to basically tell them that I'm very optimistic on the Chinese economy. And I'm investing a lot of money personally in China. I have a China fund. I own a lot of money in China and Asian stocks. And I also, again, as I do every time I speak internationally, will encourage the Chinese government to stop buying our treasuries. Because I think not only are they going to lose their money, but they're helping ruin our economy. Because the more treasury bonds the Chinese government buys, the more money me and everyone in this room are committed to pay back with interest. And the problem is, when our government borrows money, the government grows. It's not the economy. See, I want Chinese individuals to invest in Chinese companies and lend money to American entrepreneurs so we can grow the economy. But they're not doing that. All the money goes from the Chinese government to the American government so we can grow our government and destroy our economy. And ultimately, the Chinese are going to cut us off. And the longer they wait to do that, the more damage they do to our economy in the meantime. But what we have to do, in order to entice foreign money to invest in American businesses, and even American money for that matter, we have to deregulate and lower taxes on American businesses. Because right now, if you want to start up a business in China, it's going to be much more productive and much more efficient than start one up in the United States. And the reason for that is the government. The communist government understands free market capitalism better than our government. There is more economic freedom in China than there is in America, and that's why they're beating our pants off when it comes to competitiveness, and that has to change.
You get elected and you go to Washington. How are you going to be able to convince the other senators to come along with you? And also, they're going to want something from you for their vote.
Well,
now, how are you going to handle that?
Well, hopefully I can convince these guys, at least 40 of them, that there are some things that are more important than their own reelection. That sometimes you actually have to do something for the good of the country.
You just said that they're more interested in their
reelection
than anything else.
Oh, I know that. I've got to change that. I've got to get them to see how grave the situation is. See, I don't think they're all evil people and all bad people. I think they're opportunists. But I think if they really understood things, there are some good people in Congress who could rise to the occasion.
Yeah, but is there enough of them?
Well, we'll see. We'll have to vote more in. If I can't do it when I first get there, maybe we can find, here's the guys we got to get rid of, and here's, let's try to replace them. But they don't, it's not, the thing is, the collapse is coming so soon that even if they're not going to buy themselves that much more time, that they're not going to get another 10 years in office if they do the wrong thing. Because the whole thing is going to fall apart, and they'll be storming, Washington with pitchforks. So we need to get them to do the right thing now. I think if I can meet them one at a time, sit down with them. I know if I'm in Congress, my office is right there. It's all in the same hall. I can go down there. I can knock on their door. See, right now, nobody in the Senate will listen to them. They had a hearing. They had financial hearings on, let's try to figure out why we had a financial crisis. Right? They invited all sorts of people who were completely clueless that this thing was coming. I was emailing them. I called them. Please call me as a witness. Let me explain why we had a financial crisis. After all, I didn't predict it. I mean, they could have bought my book on Amazon for $18. They would have known why there was a financial crisis. They could have saved the taxpayers a lot of money on these worthless hearings. But meanwhile, you'd think that they would happen. You say, I'm going to China. I've spoke all around the world. I spoke in Saudi Arabia. I spoke in Poland on why we had a financial crisis. And they paid me to go. Here, I'm offering to go to Washington for free, and they won't even invite me. So the only way that I'm going to get any of these guys to listen to me is if I'm one of them. I got to be in there. I got to infiltrate the enemy in order to win and convert them over. But I think if I'm there and I meet them, and I don't have to convince 40 all at once. I just need to get one. Then if I get one, now it's the two of us, and now we have to get the other 39, and the numbers can grow, and it can be a movement. It's a revolution in Congress, in the Republican Party. Get them to understand what the principles are, why they were there, and what they need to do. And you could see how bad this is going to be unless we do the right thing. So, and if I can't convince them, then it's finished. What are we going to do, right? If we're going to drive this country into complete bankruptcy, if we're going to have hyperinflation, Weimar Republic style, I mean, who's going to want to live through that? It's going to be a disaster. So I figure this is the shot that we have. Somebody's got to go there and do it. And, I don't know who else is going to do it. I'm doing it. And I think I just have a unique set of qualifications to be able to pull it off.
If you're not the nominee coming out of the convention, what are your plans? Will you go to the primary?
Yeah, that was my plan, from the beginning. When there used to be 5 people in the race, and I figured, there'd be a primary. So now it's down to 3. So I'm moving up at least from 5th place to 3rd place. But I mean, unless I don't know if what's going to happen at the convention. I mean, chances are there's going to be a primary even if I'm not involved because Rob and Linda are pretty much neck and neck. I don't know if one of them is going to drop out. I know Rob said that he might drop out if he didn't win the primary, but Linda's certainly not dropping out. I mean, why would she? I mean, she's in at this point. She's in at least $10 million or more. So I mean, I think she's just going to keep throwing money in the pot, kind of like a bad poker hand. But so I don't think they're going to leave. So I might as well be part of the primary. I mean, I think I can win the primary if it comes down to it. I mean, I have until August. I think I'm going to have a lot of momentum going in the convention as far as the poll numbers, because I think I'm going to be the only person rising in the polls when the convention comes. Because of course, Linda's numbers are going to come down and Rob's numbers are going to come down because they're going to, because I'm advertising now. So I'm going to start picking up some of their supporters. So I'm going to be on the upswing, and I think I can continue that into the actual primary. Now, I prefer to just have the others fold and walk away from the convention as the winner and save all my ammunition, for Blumenthal. And maybe the delegates will see it that way. Because I said, I'm the only one that's going to win. I mean, when Don was the nominee, okay, I can see, let's go for someone safe like Simmons because we don't want to blow it. Okay, it's not about blowing it. We have to win this election, right? And, the other candidates are 20, 25 points behind in the polls with everybody knowing them. I mean, I'm doing about the same as they are, and nobody knows me. So at least I got a shot. Once a few people actually know who I am, they might support me over the phone. And I think they will, once they really see the contrast. And I think, as far as the independents go, I think I can do a lot to win the support of the independents, because I am not a party hack or an establishment guy. I was very critical of the Republican Party when they were not true to their principles and they were doing all the wrong things. So people can understand it. I'm going to say what I mean. I'm going to say the truth, and I'm not just doing something because it's Republican. I'm doing something because it's right. And I think there are a lot of people who are independent who are going to really gravitate to my message and believe in me more than an obviously partisan politician like a Dick Blumenthal. Yeah.
Do you think if Mosler, we just got in, I guess, Warren Mosler runs as an independent? Because assuming he doesn't get the Democrat primary, you think that could hurt Blumenthal in the general?
Well, I mean, that's always the case. If you get an independent that leans left or leans right, that they have a chance of being a spoiler and siphoning off some of the votes. I mean, generally they never amount to a couple of percent. So unless it's a really, really close race, it probably wouldn't matter. Maybe if a guy like a Ralph Nader, was threatening to come in, his name is high enough, maybe he could have pulled off 5 or 10%, mostly from the left. But bottom line, I don't think that's really going to make too much of a difference. It's going to be the two parties, unfortunately, that get all the press and that get all the attention and get all the votes. But I think I can win either way if somebody else comes in or not. I think the mood in the country come September, there's certainly going to be more people in Connecticut unemployed come November election than there are today. I think consumer prices will be higher. I think gas prices will be higher. So I think people are going to be more upset. I think President Obama will be less popular by November than he is today. So that should help me at the polls. I think politicians in general will be less popular, and that's got to help me. I am the least political person running for office. And so to the extent that people want to throw the bums out, they send me there. And part of I think the appeal of sending me there is that none of the other senators are going to like it. I mean, they're all going to hate the fact that I win. They're not going to like seeing me every day. They're not going to like me in their face, holding them accountable, challenging them to do the right thing, and risking their reelection. Because people are, it's going to be a different Senate with me there. The Washington is going to be different with me there. And so I think I'm the only person that's running the cabinet. I have one every day. The problem is the other candidates don't want to debate me. And I don't blame them because, even if they didn't look bad, they're up here and I'm down here. So what's in it for them to debate me? All they can do is come down and all I can do is come up. We did have a couple of meetings where we were all three of us were going to appear together on a podium. It wasn't really a debate. but both Rob and Linda dropped out of both of those. We did get requests for 2 more televised debates. I immediately said, sure, I'll debate. I don't know what happened. So I'm assuming